Shark Streamer bringing you another video. Today we got some Sonic Superstars news. So let's get to it. So, first things first, we have to go over this 11-minute gameplay from Gamescom from GameXplain showing it off. Then we're going to hop over to a video that I actually missed 9 days ago, which was actually on Game Informer, which I don't get to see everything. So I'm going to show you that interview as well. And then yeah, and they showed off a couple of screenshots I've never seen before from certain zones that we haven't seen yet. So yeah, let's jump right on into this video and get it over with and talk about some Sonic news. Break it down, break it down. Okay, I did not start from the beginning. Okay, Bridge Island Zone. That's what the name of the zone is. I always don't remember what the name of this zone is. Okay. Love the graphics in this game. Definitely, I'm so used to them just shooting out and not lasering across. That's different for the buzz bombers and everything. But, might be some new type of buzz bomber. Might be a buzz zapper. Well, you know what I'm saying. So, a special stage already. Okay. Okay, catch the Chaos Emerald. So you get the first ring for the first Emerald quite early on. He wasn't even but less than 2 minutes in the stage and he already captured the Emeralds as well. Guess it's not that hard to get them. Of course, you gotta see the other special stages. It might get harder later. I don't know. But cool nonetheless. Got the water attribute. Show you how to use it, okay. That's first scroll wheel power. Basically, this Emerald Power just explains why Sonic can go up water. Literally. Other than that, there's a build up momentum for that, I believe, right? Okay. What is that? That's like a random portal? Okay. So that takes you to this little... Okay, little mini game like collecting rings? It's just so random. Okay. So he does have a max speed when he runs, which is good. It's really good. Okay. Now we got a bonus stage, catching medals. Oh, it's kind of like the Sonic 1 kind of, okay, deal. Alright. Okay. Anyway, we're back. Little YouTube ad there for a sec. So the bonus stages are basically Sonic 1 recreation. Well, not recreations, I say. Sonic 1 like. And then, oh, so you get every medal you get, you go to another, to the other map in the background, which is really cool. Okay. Doing pretty good so far. So do you only get 1 medal or 3? He said got medal. So yeah, it's just it's free, which is good. Okay. All right. So they reward you for getting more. Great. Cool. 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 Oh boy, that thing. We done saw it like multiple times in like different trailers and everything. So it actually does try to attack you. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, we got him. Yep. Oh, you can attack it. Okay. I love the giant flickies in this game. It's just like different to me. But the fact that in the, I think jungle speed zone, I think like the one giant flicky like could fit in that small little bug pod. I really doubt that's how that works. So they squeeze the life out of his body, and that's kind of crazy. But oh, Act 2 it just transitions over. Oh, cool. So I guess you are in the same zone. They're just in the second act, so shouldn't be that big of a transition. Okay, I like that the icon for the water ability comes up when you pass a waterfall. That way you don't forget to use it, which is good. Very good. So it seems like some medals are actually in the level itself, and then some are actually in the bonus stage, which gives you a variety of when you want to get them and use them, I guess. But I don't know what you use them on, unless I missed that information somewhere. But another thing with this like warp portal sends you to like getting wings. I don't know what that's supposed to do. Besides like helping you get a 1-up faster, I don't, you know, making the game a little bit easier on you, I guess. But I guess if you want to, you can get a lot of rings and then get a whole bunch of 1-ups. When you get to the final boss, it'll be a little bit easier, you know. It doesn't seem like you have a life system, so not really sure. I'm guessing they might. Oh, you have to get on the platforms. Okay, so yeah, I guess you have to use it when you feel like it's worth using it. Okay. Saw this in the multiplayer trailer a little bit about the thing that circles, you go around multiple times and then burst out of it like that. Another metal stage. You can get 3 or 1 or 2 depending on how well you do. See if he can conquer this one this time. Oh, the army's reversed. Okay. So it seems like in the special stages, nothing can really... Oh. Never mind. I see a little portal on the side. So the first one didn't have those little portals where you can accidentally get sucked out of them. Yeah. Yeah, so... He only gets 1 medal, but he only got to that medal. Okay, so yeah, I can see how that works. Yeah. I don't know if the medals work like live. I don't think they do, but I guess we'll find out, right? Yes, the boss button. Okay. Yeah, see this boss battle or nothing now. This one's quite easy. All you gotta do is go behind him. Doing pretty. Oh, why didn't he move? I guess he wanted to go for the hits instead. Sacrificing your rings just to get more hits. Okay. A couple ways to hit him. Oh. Now what? What? Okay. Alright. Kind of turns into the big arm boss in a way. Oh, almost, but not quite. So these bosses have two phases. Okay. Interesting. And I love the like capsules now. They like have a little animation that plays like a slot machine thing almost. Like I like that. But yeah, that's pretty much Act 1 and 2 of Rich Island. Like I said, we're gonna hop over to the other video because, like I told you, it's different. So let's go ahead and watch the exclusive of everything we learned about the 6 zones in Sonic Superstars. Playing Sonic Superstars.
Everybody, thank you for tuning into Game Informer. I'm Alex Van Aken. This is Brian Shea, and we just played Sonic Superstars.
Everything we learned from playing it. Yep.
What's everything we've learned about Sonic Superstars that maybe people don't already know, right? We know it's a multiplayer game. We know Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy are in the game. Mm-hmm. We know it's a 2D Sonic. Let's expand on what people might not know.
Sure. So, I mean, I think the first and foremost biggest thing to take away from our hands-on session is that the physics feel really good.
Okay.
It feels like a classic Sonic game, which is the highest compliment I can pay this game.
Okay.
And it's just...
So it's just like the Genesis games in 3D.
Extremely solid. They
which we kind of already knew, but
branching
like...
pathways, convention that the series is
have
known
someone
for.
to hands-on play it.
And, you know, it just
helps.
feels like a game of this style should. It doesn't feel like super floaty, like kind of like the classic Sonic areas of like the 3D Sonic games feel. It definitely feels closer to something like Sonic Mania, which is, again, an incredible compliment if you've played Sonic Mania or if you know kind of the history of this franchise. Sonic Mania is one of the most well-received games in the series history, and to say that this game plays like it is just an extremely high compliment that I can pay it.
Okay.
And we played through a decent amount of stages. You know, we played through Bridge Island Zone and Speed Jungle Zone, which are the two that were on display at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
And then you got to check out, and I mean, I've checked it out before, but you got to play through Sky Temple Zone.
Yeah.
Sky Temple Zone?
Sky Temple Zone and Lagoon.
A Lagoon City Zone.
Yeah, Lagoon City Zone is my favorite, for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of like half above water, half underwater.
Yeah.
But
lots of like cool water slides.
Yeah, but not like annoying underwater, which we get sometimes with
so that's what that
2D side-scrolling games, especially in the Sonic franchise, because you have the music of death that creeps up on you here. But like, I feel like the bubbling, like the bubbles were spaced out enough. The places where you could come up for air were spaced out enough.
I think I died one time to drowning, and the rest of the time, sure, there's some close calls, but like, you know, it adds that tension that Sonic water levels kind of give you.
Right.
Sky Temple Zone was cool. It's I think I remarked as we first loaded up the level, I really like the assets in that level.
I think that the good thing about this game is all the zones are unique, because that's something like, I mentioned this in our cover story that you can read in the current issue of Game Informer, that people who like the classic Sonic games almost feel like they've been seeing their favorite band on like a greatest hits tour.
Sure.
Where it's like you play Sonic Mania, there's a lot of really great new stages, but it's also like I think 60% of that game is remixed classic stages. Like, oh, okay, well, we have Chemical Plant Zone is back, and we have Green Hill Zone, and that's great. But like, this is all new zones, but they do take inspiration from other zones from Sonic's past. So Bridge Island Zone, the opening zone, that takes inspiration from Emerald Hill and Green Hill Zone.
Yeah.
So Sonic 2 and Sonic 1's opening stage.
Yeah.
And I think that it's safe to say that Sky Temple Zone does take inspiration from Sky Sanctuary Zone, but it is definitely a distinct level on its own.
Can we talk about the other level that you played with the carnival kind of?
Yeah, Pinball Carnival Zone.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not the biggest
that's the one
fan
with
of
the
like
purple.
the kind of carnival style / pinball style zones. I think that goes back to the kind of the barrel of death that is in Sonic 3's Carnival Zone, and I go. So I'm not the biggest fan of that style, but this one's a fun one. Like it does have some cool areas where like you can bounce around inside of like these spheres and like gives you a bunch of coins if you enter those. There's other areas where like if you hit all of like the targets as you go through them, it'll give you like a kind of like a swirl of coins that come in on you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely one that I think that people who love that style of zone are going to be really about. And then the second act, because like that's the thing about these games or these zones is the second act kind of taking a cue from like Sonic 3 and taking a cue from like Sonic Mania. Like the second act feels a little bit different in feel.
Sure, yeah.
And like whether it's Bridge Island Zone, like the first act is like daytime, the second act is sunset. Carnival or Pinball Carnival Zone, the first is like kind of like a lively like casino vibe or a carnival vibe. And then you go and transition to Act 2 and it like the lights kind of go down a little bit and it's like almost like a haunted carnival, which is kind of cool. Like you have all of the other badniks that are in the first act transition. It's just like, all right, now it's like bats flying around and there's like other robots that are kind of like in like ghost costumes and the music's a little bit more haunting. And there's a sequence where it's like platforms are speeding around and you have to kind of like jump when the arrows tell you to jump to like get up to the next platform. Very fast-paced gameplay in that, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Out of the new ones that we've played since Summer Game Fest, which is your favorite?
I really like Lagoon City.
Yeah.
That's
Lagoon
one that you
City,
said you really liked. Sand Sanctuary is another one that we got to check out, and that is going to take a lot of inspiration from the level in Sonic and Knuckles. That's a fun one, but yeah, I think Lagoon City is probably my favorite of all the ones that we played. Just like it takes. Again, taking inspiration from like Hydro City from Sonic 3 and kind of bringing it forward into like a new and exciting way, but also like a little bit of Mystic Ruins. Like there's some inspiration there as well.
Let's talk about the boss fights.
The boss fights are super creative in this entry. In talking with Takashi Iizuka, basically like he likes the idea that we got in Sonic 3 and Knuckles where, at the end of Act 1, there is like kind of like a robot boss, and then at the end of Act 2, there's an Eggman boss, and they do that in this one as well. So we've talked about it in Speed Jungle Zone, for example. Like the first one, it's like a mosquito that like shoots out like a harpoon, and you have to run up the harpoon and attack it, and that's the kind of the progression there. And then the second act is an Eggman boss. So it's like, and he's kind of like in like a sphere, and you have to kind of like defeat him Incredibles style. Like if you remember the first Incredibles movie where you can't attack the actual robot, you have to goad him into shooting his arms through his body. That's exactly what this boss battle is. But that's kind of the pattern that there is. They seem like they've learned a lot from creating boss battles in this series because like some of them may have like derivative mechanics, but they never as battles feel derivative.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a whole video breaking all of them down. But is there anything in general about the Emerald powers that people might not know yet?
Oh man, so like basically every individual Chaos Emerald gives you a specific power. So if you get the red Chaos Emerald, that unlocks Bullet. If you get the blue Chaos Emerald, that unlocks Avatar. And Bullet is just kind of gives you the ability to like pause,
pause in the air,
aim in a direction and fire off in that way.
Yeah. And
then Avatar is the one that a lot of people have seen where you run a whole bunch of clones.
That's my favorite one.
That's probably the most powerful one that I've encountered. I mean, I think we got our hands on 5 of them. There are 7 in total. And then obviously if you collect all 7, you get kind of a bonus one as well. But we'll have a full video breaking them down one by one, but I think in the meantime,
we went over that video
it
with
allows
him,
you to get creative with it, and it refills when you cross the star post. Or I think it also refills on a cooldown meter, so like if you don't cross the star post for a second, like it will refill eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got?
There's a world map where it's
Oh,
like Sonic Generations
really?
map where you start on the left and you kind of run to the right.
Okay.
And, like, there's just very, very mild platforming to get up to like the next area. So like there's one that's like to get to Sky Temple Zone, it's like a kind of an updraft that you jump on. By the way, Sky Temple Zone's only one act. It's like a very long act, but it's only one act, and it has kind of like a storm that hits at the end of it, and it's kind of cool, reminiscent of Sonic Adventure. And there's also, you can change your character there.
Yeah.
You can also take part in these special acts, like there's Act Sonic, where you're running through Speed Jungle Zone. But
explain, because I saw Act Fruit, we saw an Act Amy.
Yeah. So to take part in Act Sonic, it was like Fang the Hunter is chasing you, and that kind of just makes kind of for a more difficult experience. There's Act Amy, where there is a fruit-filled stage essentially, and like, there's watermelons with guns that you have to defeat. And
I actually liked that stage. It was fun.
It was. It took place in Lagoon City Zone, which was one of our favorites. And then at the end, you find Trip, who is the new character that's developed by or designed by Naoto Oshima, and it's just a kind of a new like armored lizard-looking thing. And I think that you access those levels by collecting fruit in the stages, because when I tried to enter one of them, it asked me if I wanted to pay like one fruit to play it. And then of course we have the special stages on top of that, like the special stages where it's like kind of 3D swinging. That is, if you get a gold ring, it's for a Chaos Emerald. If you get a blue ring, it's for a stack of medals. And then there's also kind of like the Sonic 1 style rotating stages. Those are for medals. And then you can also find medals within the stages themselves. Like
also gold enemies.
Yeah, gold enemies is another way you can get medals. We saw a gold crab meat. I think it was Lagoon City that we saw that. And you defeated it, and it gave you a medal. And those medals, it appears, are traded in for customization options. And I don't know how that works. We were able to look at the store. It's like an in-game store that you trade medals for. But I don't know, like,
not microtransactions.
It's
like in-game currency.
We did not see any indication of microtransactions. But I don't know how that works. Like there was like different like head parts, arm parts, torso, but I have no idea what exactly that is customizing. We bought like a dog head.
Yeah, but I don't think we did it right. We didn't actually customize our character. Then we went back and played as Knuckles or something.
That's what it goes to.
What's next?
Which is actually fun.
The last level that we saw before we were kind of kicked out was Press Factory Zone. Unfortunately, we didn't get a look at it.
Really. But there was a good image of it.
Next. And the demo kind of ended there. But yeah. We are going to be talking to Takashi Iizuka and a few other members of the Sonic team here. So keep your eyes on the Game Informer YouTube channel for all of our conversations, all of our interviews, and more insight into Sonic Superstars.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click the like button, subscribe if you're new around here and you want to see more Sonic videos. And until the next time we see you, have a good week. Bye.
Alrighty. So that is all the information for Sonic news today. I got some Mortal Kombat videos coming out as well today, so be looking out for those. And I'll, of course, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.